Bine v-am regăsit, dragi doamnelor și domnilor, la Târgul de Cariere și, așa cum v-am promis, avem mai multe interviuri astăzi și primul de astăzi va fi cu Hamdan Ali, Head of Professional Services EMEA de la Vertiv. Acest interviu va fi în limba engleză, așa că welcome Ali to Târgul de Cariere. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you. What about you?
I'm really great. You're the first interview of today, so I'm really happy to ask you some questions if you're ready for them.
Sure.
Okay, so in 2019, Vertiv in Cluj-Napoca became global business center, which ensures Vertiv's operations in the EMEA region around the world, I guess. Can you give us details or more details about its activity?
Yeah. So thank you for the question. So Vertiv Global Business Services is the center that we have here in Cluj. So we actually grew in the past 3-4 years with more than 50-60 positions in each of the years. So we are actually around 450 employees today in Cluj.
In Cluj?
Yes,
wow.
Today in Cluj. We are keep going with the growth that we are having, and we actually, what we do here from Cluj is extremely crucial for our customers, but as well for internal for Vertiv. So you can imagine we deliver for Vertiv, for EMEA and globally, starting from finance positions, we have HR, marketing, global marketing, we have software development, and actually part of the R&D of the organization related to software has been centralized in Cluj-Napoca because there is a big portion of talent that we have in the city. So it was a natural move, I would say. And we literally cover the full spectrum of all the functions within a corporation from Cluj-Napoca.
Oh, that's great. So I guess this big growth that you are experiencing right now makes you the perfect candidate for Târgul de Cariere, right?
Hopefully.
Correct. Okay. How would you consider was last year for Vertiv, and what are Vertiv's priorities this year?
Okay. So last year it was, I would say, the second year in the pandemic. So I would still say it was kind of, let me call it,
tricky?
A part of normal.
Oh, okay.
Because after 1 year, we just get used to it, I would say.
I guess, yes.
But for our business overall, it was a year of booming because, you know, everything, we support the infrastructure for cloud, for everything that is online. So, you know, our business is growing as well, our sales. And for us centrally here, from what we delivered, it was an interesting year with a lot of projects, a lot of growth. We were shifting as well to some technical roles where I would say we are now being known a little bit in the market because it was kind of a new operation for Vertiv in Romania. But now it's, you know, we are there in the market as well for this kind of positions. So, and this is where we are focusing this year as well with the normal, I would say, usual operations that we have starting from finance and HR, but we're focusing as well on engineering. So we have a center of engineering delivering for the entire EMEA from here. So this will be as well a focus for us. So I would say multiple areas that we are focusing for this year in the talent and recruitment for our center in Cluj.
So you heard that, people, right? If you are looking for a job, Vertiv might be the right solution for you.
It should be.
Maybe.
So I will speak louder.
Yes. Ali, what are 3 things you appreciate about your company?
So one is the flexibility that we are having and the culture of being able to own your own journey. So it's a place where you can grow as a professional, but as well to change or to go to a different function if you want.
Oh, so you can migrate within the company,
yes,
right?
If you have the talent and you want to see something else, this is the place to be. The second thing is the agility and the willingness of going beyond what we do today, but looking at what is digital, how can we have more tools, and we have kind of the flexibility of, and especially in the center here in Cluj, to come with those innovative ideas, to push with that. And this is something that is I would say it's a change in the industry where you need to know a core business, but to be open for looking at tools, digital tools, and not only ERPs like previously, but thinking about machine learning, thinking about how can you incorporate that. And this is where I think it's brilliant to be able to combine both. And from my personal humble opinion, this will be the future actually.
Obviously, yes. So you have been working at Vertiv for nearly 3 years
Yes.
right now. How did you decide to join Vertiv?
So actually, I was in a place in my career where I've been looking at operations, finance, and multiple other within 3 locations in Europe, and the trigger was actually my position as head of professional services is looking after the entire spectrum, and this is where it was the ability to look for sales, looking for engineering, looking for that was actually
It's a
the
bit
trigger.
more diverse, right?
Yes, it is diverse, and it's a growing industry, to be honest, and a growing operations that we're having here in Romania. So I would say those are the reasons.
I get it. Okay. So what is the position of head of professional services? I mean, okay, you've told us a bit, but can you go a bit more in depth about your position?
So my position, I would still call it, I like the word hybrid.
Okay.
So hybrid, I think
Hybrid.
it's the new word. It's looking at the center of operations, and as I mentioned, we have multiple operations that we are having here, setting up the teams. We have, beyond that, is looking at transformation projects that we are having even within the region or globally, and it's actually not only me, so we have a team working on that. And this is where I would say, as you mentioned, this is the diversity that I have in my position, which I would still call it a hybrid. It's not a traditional, I would say, I don't know, 10, 15 years back position.
I get it. So, yeah, this term hybrid describes it perfectly, right? I get it. Okay. What do you think, Ali, that the most important qualities a leader should have? Which are those?
Should be a lot. But if I want to pick a couple of those, is one, to be able to have a vision.
Okay.
So the vision from my perspective is very important, but as well the adaptability is to be able to adapt to the organization, the market, the trends that are happening, and look at, I will go back 2 steps to the digitalization, is being able to look at it, how can you use it. So this is from my perspective very important, and as well being able to have emotional intelligence and being able to motivate. That's extremely important to have a group of people, because everyone is working, with colleagues, where you need to be able to motivate. And personally, what I see very important is humbleness.
Humbleness. Okay. I mean, yeah, in this day and age, everything is moving so quickly. So adaptability must be one of the most important aspects. Okay, so how do you choose your team? I mean, it's a pretty vague question, I guess, but you can build
I
on
can
this.
answer, and I love this question because look, the only word that I will tell you is diverse, and what diverse mean for me, it's everything.
Okay.
Look, it's literally everything. It's not usually an easy task to work with a very diverse team, because you will have different opinions, you will have people coming from different angles, but this is the beauty of it. This is where the value will be, because people have a different perspective, and this will help you to be able to take as a group the best decision, being able to look at what the future should look like. If everyone is like me, we'll have the same direction, and that's most likely could be wrong. So that's why I literally value that, to look at the diversity from all angles, and people to be very responsible and very eager. It's extremely important from my perspective, the eagerness to do stuff. And this is something that I look very much in the freshly graduated people, to bring that. It's not that I'm expecting to have a certain core background, but if you bring eagerness and you want to change things and you
willingness.
want to learn, that's it. This is from my perspective, the perfect recipe.
I get it. Okay. Ali, have you ever had a moment where you had to transform a crisis moment into an opportunity?
I think there are multiple that happened, but the most recent one, which I can see, is the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
It's look at it. It's an unfortunate event, but still, the part that it brought people very, I would say, 10 years in advance to think about flexibility, to think about being able to work from home. And this is something that we started before the pandemic to implement, but now we're going, I would say, full speed on it. It's bringing that concept. So pandemic, not something that you would like to see, but in the same time, it pushed us to go through that direction, and we took advantage of it. You can bet on it.
Yeah, and I've seen a study that people are more productive actually if they can work from home, right?
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Generally, because I think working from the office is important to connect. But but is that something that you need to do 20 days, 15 days? That's very questionable. It's about the ability to deliver and to keep the team aligned. And this is where I think flexibility comes in. Because yes, I will be more productive if I'm in calls all day long, maybe sitting in my office home, but I still miss this connection. And this is where you can build, I would say, the team and working forward with them. So I would look at this as a very good idea of combining a situation which is, I would say, unpleasant, but we have something very good coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, the word that would best describe it is hybrid, right?
Yeah, hybrid.
Exactly. Okay, so people often talk about emotional intelligence in leadership. Can you give us an example of the role of emotional intelligence in day-to-day activities?
From my perspective, it's very crucial to everything that we do, and it was very shown in the past 2 years, especially when people were working only from home, or mostly, I would say 90% from home. And emotional intelligence is to be able to you're communicating with a human being. It's very important to understand the motivation, to self-develop, to self-drive. And this is something that as a leader, you need to have that across. So it's not only for you personally, but being able to transfer that to your teams, and it is a very important aspect that, from my perspective, all organizations need to invest in it.
Agreed. And the last question, Ali.
Okay.
What are the jobs Vertiv is bringing to Târgul de Cariere this season?
A lot.
And what is the profile of the candidates you look for at Vertiv?
So we have multiple profiles. So as we speak today, we have multiple positions starting from finance, we have in HR, in talent acquisition, but as well we have in engineering, we have in software development as well. So it's a wide range that we have. We have in marketing, you name it, we have it. So we are growing.
You heard it.
Yes, we actually growing, and we're keeping that trend this year, and this is where we have those positions, but as well something that is very important for me is the culture that we're bringing. And this is where you will be able to have investment from the company in you as training, the flexibility, being able to look at multiple departments, and to have the voice of, if you want to change something, bring the idea, and we will work on it. Nobody guarantees that everything will happen in 1 week.
I mean, obviously, yes.
But it is a place where you can own your career.
Great. Ali, thank you very, very much for answering my questions and for being here with us today. I will now switch to Romania.